Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Burnfield. I'm going to do the teacher read aloud with you again this week. Remember, the teacher read aloud for our vocabulary words is much like the first page of our word wisdom lessons. It's a passage that contains all 10 of the vocabulary words that you will be working with this week. Today, the passage is called The Visitor. As I'm reading, I'm going to stop and ask some questions. Remember to think about an answer and speak it out loud. Use all of that deep thinking we've been practicing throughout 5th grade. Here we go. The Visitor. No matter how much the new girl tried to blend in, thought Hillary, she stood out like a polar bear in the desert. On the first day of school, Susan had arrived in clothes that even the most original student wouldn't dare risk. Metallic silver leggings and a knee-high length tunic that actually changed colors. Her flat ankle boots grew heels, 2 inches one minute, 3 inches the next, depending on what she was doing. One word described her style: futuristic. Question 1. Why is the description of Susan's dress important to the story? If you said, it helps the reader know that Susan is different and makes the reader want to read on, you're correct. Let's go on. Her behavior produced a compliment or two. Sure, she was quiet, but Susan was an absolute whiz at history. Most of the time, she knew more than their teachers. Yes, Hillary admitted to herself, she was impressed. Each day brought a new rumor about Susan Smith. One girl swore she had seen her in 2 places at once. A whole classroom was positive that Susan's forgotten science homework had suddenly materialized out of nowhere. Today, after school, Hillary was supposed to go to Susan's house to work on their English project. After school, however, Susan insisted on working at Hillary's instead. "Can't," said Hillary. "Mom's having her writers' group today." She stayed cool and collected as they gathered stuff from their lockers and walked outside. "So why don't we just go to your house?" Hillary asked, but Susan couldn't seem to concentrate on what Hillary was saying. "Susan, earth to Susan." "Sorry," Susan replied. "Okay, but it's not a good day for you to be on my street. I'm just warning you." Hillary rolled her eyes. Susan was always making predictions. Question 2. How does the author build tension with the series of events in the story? Think about an answer and speak it out loud. If you analyzed and answered, as the girls approached Susan's street, Susan became distracted and warned Hillary that something bad might happen, you are correct. Let's read on. They turned onto Susan's street. They were almost to their destination when Hillary noticed Susan scanning her surroundings as if she were expecting something. Hillary wondered why Susan acted so oddly sometimes. "Come on, Susan, let's hurry up so we can get to our studying," Hillary said as she stepped into the street. Question number 3. Can you make a prediction? What do you think is about to happen? Let's read on to see if your prediction is correct. It all happened in a few seconds, but Hillary remembered it later in slow motion. Suspense. The sudden rattle of the truck, the blare of the horn, the screech of the wheels, and the pain in her ribs as Susan grabbed her and flung her safely down on the sidewalk. Hillary sat there. How did Susan know the truck was coming? It came out of nowhere. There was no way she could have seen it, speeding around the corner. She just knew it was there. The whole thing was impossible. Susan helped Hillary up and gave her a hug. "This is goodbye," Susan explained. "Now that you're safe, I must go forward, but from now on, you must take care. You are destined to do great things." With that, Susan disappeared, just popped into nothing. How did she do that? Hillary wondered later. One thing was certain. When Susan had snatched her from the patch of the oncoming truck, she had altered the course of history. Just what sort of role, Hillary wondered, was she herself going to play? What conclusion can you draw about why Susan and Hillary met? Think about that. If you concluded that Susan was sent from the future to save Hillary because Hillary is destined to do great things, you made a great conclusion. Before we go, let's take a quick look at the vocabulary words. I will read a word and then you repeat it. Here we go. Original, produced, complement, admitted, impressed, rumor, collected, concentrate, destination, suspense. Good work today, boys and girls. Make sure that you look for these words as you are reading the passages this week. See you soon. Bye.